Welcome to Reading the Game, the show where I read the game, you get to listen to me read the game, I get one off my 10,000, and you get to learn more, and I get to learn more about our favourite games. So if you've been on the channel, you'll know that I did a Genshin video recently, looking for all the books in Mondstadt, so that we could read books from Mondstadt. I got 10 collected in full in the end. And so I random rolled before this video, and we got Hilichurl Cultural Customs, which I think should be very interesting. This book, as we know in the main plot at the moment, Hilichurls are not as they seem, and are cursed people from the former kingdom of Khaenri'ah, or at least they're the cursed half-bloods, cursed with immortality and to live as monsters. We didn't know that at this point in the game. And Mondstadt seems to have done a lot of good research on Hilichurls before, so I'm genuinely curious on what this book will have to tell us. So without further ado, let's do some reading, shall we? Volume 1, Hilichurlian Social Structure. The social structure of the Hilichurl race is evidently a primitive tribal one. Small-sized Hilichurl tribes are often prolific in occurrence throughout the wilderness. It seems that they conceive of the tribe as akin to a large extended family. By far the most powerful figure in the Hilichurl tribe is the shaman. Extensive field research confirms that the shaman is the oldest member of the tribe and plays a role in its analogous as the parent in the family, managing major affairs and making policy decisions based off their wealth of experience. Additionally, shamans act as protector of their tribe, using their elemental abilities. Shamans can be identified by their distinctive appearance from other tribe members. They wear horned, smiling face masks with eye holes at the mouth, and wielding a rudimentary shaman's staff in their hands. A further identifying feature is they will be heard chanting to themselves some form of unintelligible hymn or incantation. Age is not always the deciding factor when it comes to the status in the tribe. In some tribes, shamans are ousted from the leadership by physically larger Hilichurls with superior combat skills. Under leadership of this kind, such tribes tend to become more aggressive. The chiefs of these tribes can easily be identified from their large stature and ostentatious masks, which bear horns. The Hilichurls' hostility towards outsiders, coupled with the obvious language barriers, means that conducting specific research on the distribution of resources within tribes has been all but impossible. Nevertheless, Knights of Favonius patrol reports suggest that resources are typically shared on the basis of to each according to his needs. All tribe members are both gatherers and soldiers, but some that prized in combat above others developed into seasoned heavyweights of the battlefield. If the tribe stays long enough in an unfavourable environment, these heavyweights become its most respected leaders. Interestingly, Hilichurls seem to have a unique ability to manipulate the elements despite their low intelligence and primitive social structure. This ability is most notably manifested in the shamans. Typically, humans require a vision in order to exercise elemental control. The question of how Hilichurls are able to do so without visions is, therefore, one which requires further investigation and analysis. So coming into this with the perspective of knowing that Hilichurls were people from Khaenri'ah, knowing that Khaenri'ah was an affront to Celestia and got destroyed. Not just destroyed, cursed. Genshin lore, school time. So we know that when Celestia doesn't like a particular civilization, they send a celestial nail down and basically nuke it. They don't like it. Khaenri'ah, they sent the Archons to deal with it. They didn't nail, so did that mean that Khaenri'ah managed to defend themselves from the nail? Were the Archons and this curse a secondary bit of ammo because their first attempt to destroy them had failed? Maybe. Also, if that's the case, Celestia tries to control elemental power via the Archons, the Gnosis, and the Visions. So, Khaenri'ah might have discovered a way to manipulate elemental power without such things, and that's probably one of the things that affronted them so much. They went so far as to steal elemental authority from the dragon sovereigns to give to the Archons, so that they could control everything, and then give them visions, which are manifestations of people's ambitions, so that they could take them away and then people wouldn't have the ambition to take over or do anything. Thoughts, feelings. I've lost my point, but this is a lot. I knew we'd get deep into the lore with this one. Deep Genshin lore. Deep Genshin lore. Go! Hilichurl's spirituality. Just as the inhabitants of the 7 nations of Teyvat have their religious beliefs, so too do the Hilichurls. However, they worship not a specific figurehead with a presence in this world, such as one of the 7, but elemental power itself in a more abstract sense. For instance, some Hilichurl tribes in Mondstadt revere Anemo just as their human counterparts do. But they do not recognize the Anemo Archon Barbados, obviously, because he destroyed their country. Or at least he took part in it. Instead, they worship the power of Anemo itself. Hilichurls holding different elemental beliefs often live together in the same tribe. An individual Hilichurl's elemental affiliation can be deduced from the design on their masks and the colour of their body paint. First-hand observations indicate that the shamans responsible for organising offerings and worship ceremonies for the tribe applied a coloured dye to their hands and skin, with the colour representing the element they worship. Shamans are dressed and adorned more ornately than ordinary tribe members, but owing to their limited intelligence of the Hilichurls, it's highly doubtful that any of the fine ornaments worn are crafted by their own hand. Does that make them leftovers from their Khaenri'ah roots, maybe? Or maybe something the Abyss made for them, the more intelligent people of the Abyss made it for them. The shaman is the spiritual leader of the tribe. He leads them in song and dance during worship, singing hymns and praise to the elements. If there is forever leftover meat from the hunt, the Hilichurls place it on the altar raw as a sacrifice. Even though they accumulate ample mora, precious stones and other items of value, though through exploring, looting, mugging and other means, it would appear that raw meat alone is considered a sufficient sacrifice. It would appear that Hilichurls possess no concept of either the past or future because they're immortal beings that we might kill, but I believe they come back pretty much, or something like that. Can't remember what the quest said happened. Living only in the present, they do not intentionally store up food for survival, nor do they commemorate their deceased forebears. Though crude attempts at something like calligraphy have been widely observed within their camps, closer inspections reveal these markings to be nothing more than botched imitations of what they have seen in ancient ruins, possessing no originality whatsoever. Hilichurls do seem to have an inexplicable affinity for remnants of the past, evidenced by the fact that ruins are one of their preferred locations to camp. It's almost like those ruins might remind them of the time when they were human. But investigations thus far have turned up nothing which might hint at the true nature of their connection with the lost civilizations to which these ruins belong. We know so much more now. It's very interesting going back to this and all the breadcrumbs they'd started to give you even as the game opened up. Very cool. Very fun to go back to. Volume 3, The Mysterious Loners. Among the Hilichurls exists a kind of mysterious large creature possessing both immense physical strength and the ability to control the elements. They use this elemental ability to further enhance their physical state, such as to protect themselves or increase brute force of their attacks, a combination making them nearly unstoppable. Oh, I see the big boys, you know. These powerful Hilichurls are called Lawa by the rest of the tribe, a respectful form of address best translated to mean king or chief. However, Lawa don't actually rule over or lead the tribe at all. Rather, these large loners prefer solitude, avoiding the looks of reverence from the smaller Hilichurls. Adventurers rarely encounter these gigantic creatures. Still, even the most seasoned adventurers think twice before going on expedition to areas where these dangerous Lawas may be roaming. Large Hilichurls that avoid the looks of reverence. We know that only kind of half-bloods or not pure-blooded Khanrians are the ones that got turned into monsters. But that doesn't mean that every noble and every high-up person was, or every... Oh no! Wait. Is it because the Lawas used to be warriors from Kharia, and they feel bad that they failed their people? Maybe. The Dapita Gorge, Mondstadt, a case for cultural diversity among Hilichurls. The meaty tribe is fond of feasting. They have built a boar-rearing pen in the centre of their settlement, and assigning a swinehead to watch over it. Over a natural stove made with pyro slime, they cook boar stew in a single large pot, from which each tribe member feeds according to their needs. The most striking feature of this tribe is the sizable combat arena. Those who set foot in the arena are understood to be accepting an open invitation to engage in combat, and those subsequently ousted from it face being mocked by the entire tribe. Now we know that place. I know me and pretty much every person who played this game saw that giant pot and were like, I want to jump into it! Because that's always the sensible thing when you see a giant pot, right? The Sleeper tribe is prone to sleeping at every opportunity. What a mood. They have built themselves an environment especially conducive to sleep, consisting of simple wooden huts furnished with a soft animal hide for beds. They are the most cunning and devious of the Hilichurl tribes, and their above-average mental capacity can perhaps be attributed to the superior sleep quality they enjoy. Practices of the Eclipse tribe, now that's the interesting tribe, are the most occult of any in Mondstadt. They concern themselves neither with brains nor brawn, but with occult power. Distinct from the elements worshipped by their peers, the object of their worship is a crude symbol that appears to represent an eclipsed sun. Their shamans are more powerful than those of other tribes. In the center of their settlement, the other tribe members have built a grand throne for the most formidable of shamans who lead them. Again, this has been fascinating to read. To go back, like I said, all these Khanrian breadcrumbs that have been left, and things that we can now interpret very differently with the information we know. The Lawa, king or chief, who may have been leaders that are now somewhat ashamed of what has happened, so now they live in solitude. The Eclipse that may worship the sinner itself, or maybe have some memory of where they came from. A lot of Khanrian symbolism seems to be of the night sky. So the Eclipse tribe seems to make a lot of sense, and a lot of abyss powers and things seem to be very darkness-based. So eclipse out the sun and bring out the darkness. Was that what they were trying to do? Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, That is reading the game. I'm almost tempted to start a little a lore board. You know how detectives have those boards and the red string and everything. I'm tempted to start a digital one of them, but for this, so that we can connect up all the names and things that get mentioned, and we can make a really big lore board, and then maybe I can do actual lore videos and connect up the dots. Not that loads of people haven't already done that, but I get to do it for my own entertainment, and maybe even your entertainment. I hope you enjoyed. This has been Reading the Game. I am Bryony Rose Smith, and we have read the game, the Hilichurl Cultural Customs. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel, and also clicking the links for the many ways you can support me, including Kofi, Patreon, and merch on Etsy. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye!